Hi, my name is Kristen, and my practice is well balanced. In order to have true health, we need to have emotional health and we need to have our gut biome, our gut health. See, our gut is our second brain. And when our gut is raw and does not have good biome or bacteria, then it's our emotional health can't stabilize itself. And so really a paramount, the very base of our health and wellness is going to be our emotional health and our gut health. And years ago, I used to volunteer at these annual health and wellness conferences. And there was over 150 integrative nutrition doctors and just different doctors who've written books and, top in their field. They all got together and they decided on what is the base of our health. And all of them came to the same conclusion, that it is our emotional health and our gut health. Now, how do you get gut health? Well, gut health starts with an anti-inflammatory diet, a diet that is rich in phytonutrients and plant-based nutrients, also good bacteria, probiotics, prebiotics, also staying away from alcohol, sugar, dairy, and gluten. Now, that's not to say that you can never have those things, but to have a more balanced diet and to have good gut biome, you cannot overdo it on any of those things. Me personally, I started my journey into health and wellness when I was young, I was always so into health and wellness, but when our youngest son was born, he had a lot of gut issues and a lot of actually eczema and a lot of emotional issues as well. He just was not feeling good. And what we traced it back to was a series of antibiotics that he was on when he was really little because he had gotten a staph infection and he was in the hospital for 4 or 5 days. And being on that IV antibiotic robbed his gut of good bacteria. And so therefore, after that time in the hospital, he was just not feeling good and he couldn't get in touch or he couldn't get a hold of his emotions. He was foggy headed. He was frustrated and angry, and he literally just had anxiety attacks and things like that when he was younger. And he was just a little guy. And I started to really, really research when he was around 2 years old after he's been in the hospital, what does it mean to have too much antibiotics and how does that throw our gut health off? And so as I got into a book called Doris Rapp, Is This Your Child's World? It was like a huge book. And I was obsessed as a mom to try to figure out how to make my child feel better. And so we started to go into all this testing and we went to nutritionists and we went to holistic people that helped us to actually kind of sift through the debris of actually what had happened to him in the hospital. And it came down to his gut health. He was highly allergic to gluten and dairy, and we found that out through testing later. And so once we got his gluten and his dairy under control, did we start to see that his moods could get regulated. Now our gut is our second brain. I mean, you could go to any gastrointestinal doctor and they would say the same thing. It's not just a holistic slant. It really is common knowledge that our gut is our second brain. So once you get your gut health in line by eating healthy and staying away from gluten and dairy and alcohol and sugar and things like that, it usually can take up to 4 to 6 weeks to really kind of cool the inflammation down in your gut to where that it is actually humming and working in a proficient way. So we did that with my son, and after that, the other paramount part of your health and wellness is your emotional health. So going to counselors and or having someone to talk to or having a set of skills that you rely on when you start to get emotionally charged and things like that. So what I do nowadays is I used to do everything being in the health and wellness industry, but I'm really now honing in on the energetic part of our wellness and the emotional part of our wellness and how it gets stuck in our body, because I'm a fascial stretch therapist and a Reiki practitioner. But I never want to disregard the gut health, because they go hand in hand. So once you get your gut health and your emotional health stabilized, do you rise up? And then you can add the physical activity, and you can add spirituality and all that stuff, because you are in a more stable place, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to talk to you today about the importance of gut health and emotional health in our well-being and our sense of well-being. So let's flip over now to the emotional component. What I do now is clearing out the body of the energy that is stuck in our body, that holds us down, that drags us down, that causes pain, physical illnesses, and things like that. So to really start yourself on a positive path towards health and wellness, look at your emotional health, counseling, body work like I do, getting rid of the stuck energy in your body, learning some tools on how to deal with energy and emotions that rise up and get stuck in our bodies. That's one part. And then also the gut health, where you're actually going to do probiotics and prebiotics and vitamins and nutrients, and clearing out the inflammatory foods in your diet and things like that. So super simple, not super complicated. Really take your health and your wellness seriously, because when you don't have your health and you don't feel well, you really don't feel like progressing forward in life. It really is a game changer when you come into a place of